All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight and what Bob Arum had to say about why the fight didn't happen. Doing this in response to a lot of people coming by my chat and telling me what Bob Arum said. Although I saw the video, I don't think it is what a lot of people are saying that it is. And pretty much, he puts that on Terence Crawford. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we are going to talk about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford and what Bob Arum had to say about why he believes that bout fell apart. He had earlier said that he believed that the fight would not happen for a different reason. So we'll take what he says with a grain of salt in this particular one. However, his insight I do think is valuable, and especially for people that come by my chat and different videos and want to tell me what it is that Bob Arum said. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter on the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really, really does mean a lot. A lot of you guys keep coming by on a regular basis, supporting the channel, supporting what we're doing on the channel, which is pretty much trying our best just to tell the truth as we see it, use logic to analyze what is going on, and come to a reasonable conclusion about what's going on in this mad, mad world of boxing. So, on to this. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. are not fighting because because Terence Crawford has pulled out of the negotiations and decided to fight a guy named David Avancian. That is what we know. The rest of the conversation about, why, what this offer was, what that offer wasn't, all of this type of stuff is a bunch of stuff that we're not sure about. However, the one thing that we know about it is that Terence Crawford had said previously that he was, that he wanted the Errol Spence Jr. fight, but it was not something that was really, that was going to be super important to his legacy or his career. And that if the fight did not work out, then he would go take another bout, and that's what he did. Well, there was an interview that was done, I believe, on Fight Hype, or at least it was aired on Fight Hype. And the interview was conducted by Lance Pugmire. Lance Pugmire is a guy that had been putting out a lot of different reports about the fight as it goes on. He's a boxing writer. I think that I see his articles on Boxing Scene, but he also might be on some other sites. But he did an interview with Bob Arum. Bob Arum being the CEO or founder, CEO or co-founder and CEO of Top Rank. Top Rank is the promotional company that Terence Crawford left before he negotiated, it's the promotional company that he had been fighting with from very early in his career up until the last fight with Sean Porter. The question was asked, Bob Arum, what do you think about this fight, and why do you think the fight did not happen? And his answer was, and I'm telling you, I'm reading what the man said. I'm listening to what he said. I'm also thinking about the ramifications of what he said. Now, Bob Arum is definitely somebody that will talk from this side of his neck and from that side of the neck, depending on the day, right? Earlier on, he had said that he didn't think the bout was going to happen because Bud was not going to be happy having to get back in money. That Bud is going to want to get guaranteed money up front. And if he didn't get that the bout was not going to get made, that fighters know that it's very risky or the back end money is not going to be there in the end. So they don't want to get in. So they're not going to want to get involved with that. Now, this particular time, when asked about why the fight did not happen, what Bob Arum said was that Terence Crawford didn't have a promoter there to negotiate the deal. Since he didn't have a promoter sitting there negotiating the deal that could sit there with Al Heyman and work out all of the details, the fight did not get done. If, and this is Bob Arum saying, he said, if it was me, just like we did with Al Heyman, just like we did with Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter, we did with Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr., and we did with Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, I would have been able to sit there with Al Heyman. We would have hashed out a deal. We would have got it done. But because Bud did not have somebody there like that to do it, the fight didn't get made because he didn't know how to talk and didn't know how to negotiate himself through the end of that bout. So let me give the ramifications of what he's saying. Right now, he can say, "Well, I don't blame Al Heyman. I don't blame Errol Spence," and then he said, "I don't really blame Terence Crawford." But at the same time, he moves on and he puts the onus right there on Terence Crawford for not having good representation. Now, why do I say that? Because he said if he had had somebody else other than at that table, other than the people that were there, that bout would have been made. If I was there, I would have been able to get it done with Al Heyman. I would have been able to get that thing through to completion. The reason it is not through to completion is because Bud decided not to bring somebody with him to negotiate that deal. Now, Lance Pugmire asked some follow-up questions and said, are you saying that because that's not what his profession is? Basically alluding to that is it because that, that there are certain skill sets that Terence Crawford doesn't possess, negotiation being one of them, right? That you get in there and you're talking to people and you're not used to doing that business. You may ask for things that you don't need, right? Like maybe transparency into receipts, which you don't need, because all you would need to do is ask for this instead. I won't go into great amount of details about that, but I promise you, there are people that negotiate deals for a living. People that have been in the box have basically know all of the ins and outs of a deal in boxing and how you can meet middle ground on things that where somebody that is not as experienced would think, no, I need it done exactly this way. I don't trust you. And they may not trust you because they don't really have a deep understanding of the business aspect of boxing. And some people don't understand this. Business is business. Boxing is boxing. You conduct boxing is the subject matter of business, just like making balloons for, manufacturing balloons. It may be the subject matter of the business, but the actual business, the profit, the loss, the return on investment, the managing of expenses, the assigning of resources, the predicting of dependencies in, the timeline that you establish for things to get done. All of those type of things are consistent across all kind of different businesses. But subject matter experts typically do not have a great understanding of business functions. And that very well could be the reason why Terence Crawford was not able to get to a conclusion with him, because he's being represented by himself. He's being represented by somebody maybe like Brian McIntyre, who may be very well, able to negotiate something like a fix, like a high guarantee, because what's the guarantee? What's the number of the fight? What's the number of the bouts? That's not necessarily very as complex, and they might already have basically a boilerplate agreement that they've already abided by, that they're happy to abide by. But no, do not get it wrong. Top Ranks president Bob Arum, sorry man, my dad's name is Bob, so I was about to say my last name. Bob Arum was not placing this blame on ERROL. He was saying that Terence Crawford didn't have proper representation in that negotiation, and that more than likely blew up the deal. And honestly, when you hear things, a way this thing was handled, and the unprofessional manner in which it came to a conclusion, I think he very well may have a point. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. That's what Bob Arum said. You can agree with it, not agree with it. Leave your comment in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.